Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning in to real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to WCFL Dolphins Talk. Hope everyone's having a wonderful morning this morning. It's a wet and dreary morning this morning here in Brooksville, Florida. Let's see how it is in New Jersey with Johnny O.
No, I'm not in Jersey, brother. I'm still in Florida.
Oh, you're still in Florida.
I'm over here in Wellington, and it's sunny, sprinkled just a little bit for a couple seconds, but it's sunny and bright and warm, and yep.
Well, let's see what the weather's like up in Philadelphia with Dolphin winners.
It's gloomy here too, bro. Same shit. It's gloomy. It probably is gonna rain later on today, but it's gonna be like 68 to 70 degrees. So I'll take it. How you gentlemen doing this morning?
It's wonderful.
Can't complain.
Wouldn't do any good anyway. No one listens.
That's right.
Mhm. You know, good news, the Phillies are going for the sweep in the first series of the baseball series. The bad news is the Dolphins are still the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you. If anything happened this week, I didn't see it because I wasn't on my phone much. So
No, you're not supposed to.
Listen, we've been looking, Johnny, and ain't a damn thing sit there and happen. All we know is, like, talking to other fans and, being here in Philly, that, Calais Campbell could land in Philadelphia. He could. And it's sad to say that, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
No, I don't blame him. Because I don't see it having a Super Bowl winning team this year, that's for sure.
yeah, and it's really nice that might win.
Not at all.
I mean, we're all diehard Dolphins, and we want a Super Bowl winning team, but we're also realists, and we see what we see, and it's not looking the greatest.
At all. You got 10 one-year contracts on the team.
Something
That's
like
basically it. I mean, sorry, Miami Dolphins organization, we are not slow at all. We you called it like you see it, Paul. Soft rebuild it is.
yeah. The only way it's going to change is if they actually do what is expected of them to do, and that's build the trenches. But
The mentality has to change. The mentality has to change before any of this shit has any personnel, anything. And the fucked up part about it is they interview Kendall Lamb up here in Philadelphia, and if I can pull it up, I'll pull it up and watch it. I've heard it from Eagle fans like, what's going on with the culture in Miami? And I've had 5 people ask me that in 2 fucking days. And I explained it to them. And to sit there and explain to other fans, and you hear players that come from Miami talk about the culture, that's a fucking problem. And that's disturbing. So basically you're telling other players other teammates because he said, "Well, shit, when we in team meetings, all phones are solid. When you're in Miami, the phone go off. Oh, it's no problem. No punishment, no discipline, no nothing. Like that tells you a lot right there. Like
Yeah.
that how you doing, Cap? Good morning to you, brother. Like that right there, like, until we get discipline, stop this bitch boy shit. And once we sit there and start getting a little hard nosed and stop crying about people like, oh, he sit there screaming at me. Well, we done had fucking two, one coordinator, a head coach, and players, and the fucking coordinator went and won the Super Bowl this season.
Yeah.
So let's just sit there and call the kettle black until the mentality of the whole organization of the Miami Dolphins changes. We aren't winning a thing. That's just what it's going to be. Hate me, don't hate me. I'm telling the truth and I'm telling facts. I love this team just like these gentlemen that's on this panel. But I'm a realist, just like Paul said. And until we change our mentality, you can have 100 people, or you can have 53 players with 99% on Madden on our team. If our mentality doesn't change, it doesn't matter what we do.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, you got to be there for the right reasons, not just the money, not just the sunshine, the life in Miami. It's got to be, you got to be there to want to win. If you're there just for a paycheck, or you don't want to do the right things and go to meetings on time and silence your phone and put the work in, and the older guys helping the younger guys and the younger guys studying a little more, it's not going to matter.
At all. And that's the sad part. I mean, we always look forward to the next season. We always look forward to who we're gonna get. We always look forward, and the excitement builds up as the draft comes up, which is in a couple weeks. We all get excited for all this stuff. But damn it, when finally August and September gets here and we sit there and see what we get, and depending on how the first month goes, it's kind of crazy. You kind of sit there and kind of know how our season's gonna go, and it's sad. It's sad. Like Miami, uh, there are cold weather games. Like you do have to play outside of Miami. You do have to play outside of 70, 80, and 90-degree weather. You do have to go into inclement weather, and you're gonna have to go in inclement weather, which I wouldn't be surprised the league just become assholes, the ones that scheduled the games for us this year. And I wouldn't be surprised that Pittsburgh is in December. Wouldn't be surprised if the Jets is in December. Wouldn't be surprised if New England game is in December at New England. I wouldn't be surprised if the Buffalo game is in December too. Like just to sit there and say, hey, guess what? If y'all on that team, y'all gonna have to play in cold weather states. And that's just what's gonna be. And it's sad that we gotta talk about a professional football team that can't play in cold fucking weather. That's sad.
Well, we're going to have some cold weather games. I mean, there's just no way. You got New England Jets, Buffalo, Pittsburgh that are on the schedule. 2 of the 4 games are going to be in cold weather. They're not going to give us
Correct.
all. They're not going to give us, New England and Buffalo early in the season at their places. They're not going to give us Pittsburgh and the Jets early in the season at their places. So 2 of those are going to be, late November, December, early January.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's just sad, Johnny, that we're talking about weather. That's the sad
I
part.
mean, no,
Like,
it's not, because I mean, if you look at Miami's record over the years in cold weather games, I don't care who the quarterback was, who the coach was. I mean, it's part of being a Miami fan. They play great in the sunshine and in the great weather, but then when it comes to the cold weather, you go back to the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. We didn't play good in the cold. I think we have like a 33% winning percentage in cold weather games for the franchise history.
Yeah, that's about right.
not winning no Super Bowls doing that. You're not winning playoff games doing that. It's just That's just the reality. Like that's just what it is. And until we change that mentality, then we're going to be exactly what we are, a regular season team with hopes of making the playoffs, which we won't. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not trying to call a kettle black, and I'm not trying to call the season already because we still got to go through a whole bunch of stuff. But we got to see what this draft look like, and then we got to see how this thing looks sculptured. We got to see who's going to make the cut, who doesn't make the cut.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it it is what it is when it comes to the weather games. I mean, the only time we ever won Super Bowls was when we had ground and pound teams where you had three running backs who could just run, and didn't matter where you played, you were just running the ball. I mean, think about it.
Physicality,
You make it to a Super Bowl and your quarterback throws the ball 7 times.
yeah, physicality,
Yeah.
physicality, punch you in the mouth type mentality. We don't have that. We don't have that. And that's just facts. We haven't had that in decades.
Well, Randy's asking why couldn't Ross build a cold climate practice facility? Well, I'm sure they can get that practice facility they have pretty damn cold as it is. It's just a matter of it's not going to necessarily help a whole lot because you'd have to build a all weather facility that where it can be 30 degrees out, snowing, raining in the facility, and have them guys practicing something like that. Cap says Johnny called it, bro. Even Marino was under 500 in cold weather games.
That's
Yeah,
true.
if I remember right, Marino's record was like 8-9.
So yeah, there's a lot of things that should have, would have, could have, if we could. Should have. It could go any way. It's a matter of different things. Cap says McDaniel turned down the AC in the new facility. That's when he was walking around with "I wish it was colder" shirts.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but what was
God.
the AC down to? Maybe 60? You're not talking,
If that.
20, 30 degrees, winds blowing. I mean, and listen, it's hard to duplicate that. If you play in a city that's like that, you can go out and practice in it. When you play in Miami, you can't go out and practice in, 30-mile-an-hour winds, 30 degrees. I don't care what kind of facility they built.
They could build facilities like that because they have facilities that do all that for testing different things. But Ross isn't going to spend that kind of money on a facility like that for a football team.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine how much that would cost. I mean, that's, it is what it is. We root for a team that plays in the nice weather. We enjoy the nice weather when we come down to see them. But,
Yeah.
when they have to go places that are cold,
We
guys
don't even
aren't used to it.
we ourselves don't even want to go travel to these places when it's going to be 30 degrees or colder out.
You ain't never lied on that because I already said. Me and
No,
Russ
you're right.
already said if it's fucking freezing in New England, ooh, shit.
Right. I mean, I live 45 minutes from MetLife. If it's that cold, it's like, damn, do I really want to go to the game?
Yeah,
Yep.
for real.
I mean, we don't get us wrong. We love our team and we support them in all ways, but sitting out, we're not being active like the team is. So sitting out there in 20-degree weather, 30-degree weather, and you're just sitting there cheering your guys on, yes, but it gets cold just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, Kat, we know Formula One is already set up at Hard Rock now. Formula One's basically set up all year long. Dan Burke, yo, Dan Burke, how you doing, my
What's
brother?
up, Bert?
Berkshire.
What's good, Bert?
What time you fly back home, Tom, John?
I don't fly home until tomorrow night. So I'm here all day today, all day tomorrow.
What about Tom? Is he already?
Nice.
He flew home last night. He had to, originally he was supposed to fly back with me on Monday night, and they changed our flight from 5 p.m. to like 9 p.m. So he had to be back to work for something Tuesday. So he changed his flight and went back yesterday. He got home last night. So flying by myself back, which is no problem. My car's at Newark. We parked in an off-site spot. So
That's like in Tampa. We found parking in the off-site spot is a lot cheaper and still secure.
yeah, no, we've parked there every time we've traveled, Tom and I think it was like $110 from last Friday to Tuesday morning because I landed at like 12:15.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, we had a good time on the cruise. You know, we had people from all over the states. Matt and Steph were in from California. Matt Farah and his wife were in. We had people from Montreal. Obviously Maria and her family, and people from Pennsylvania. Asher and his family were there. Tim was there with his wife and sister-in-law and brother-in-law. There's people from all over. So we had a good time, and this one wasn't like the last cruise. It was, you had to get in line to get autographs and see the players. Sean Wooden was the only one on the ship with his family. He had his wife and his daughters and his mom and stepdad, and we had to get together Sunday night for like a half hour, 40 minutes, and Sean was there and talked to everybody and took pictures and signed. He brought a stack of pictures of him that he signed and gave out. And other than that, you'd see him on the ship, give him a fist bump, say hello, talk a couple minutes, and then just keep right on going. So he had a good vacation. People weren't really bothering him much that I know of. So
Yeah, well, that's good. Good for him. Good for y'all. Glad y'all had a good time. Hope he had a good time just as well. It sounds like he did. And
yeah. I mean, there's a couple little things that go wrong, but it is what it is. You're on vacation, just keep going. Maria's already pricing out the one for next year, March or April of 2026. So when the information comes out, look for that. And if you want to join us. And, very relaxing. I'll tell you that. When Paul, you go on cruises.
yeah,
You get up when you want to, go to eat.
Yeah, we enjoy them because there's always something to do on the ship. I mean, always something. And you're not stuck in one small town or one area, which you'd have to spend money on food, spend money on this, spend money on that, your entertainment. On a cruise, you're every other day or every day, basically, you're at a different port seeing different places. So you get to see a lot, you get to do a lot, and you can do nothing at all if you want to. Just sleep your day away around the pool or in your room or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's very relaxing. I mean, it's, we went to the comedy show, played bingo. They got all kinds of activities and stuff going on. So I know Tim had a nice hit at bingo for $700. They did a 4-corner box, 4-quarter bingo. The first 4 numbers, his wife hit the first 4.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've never had any luck on a cruise ship bingo.
And shoot. Last person that had luck on the ship was Nancy, wasn't it?
Do what?
Nancy was the last one that had good luck on the ship.
Yeah, well, John had good luck on this ship. Yeah, Nancy had
Absolutely.
good luck. She hit for she next to last night. She hit for over $1,000. So
Yeah, I hit early. I was doing well early, and then the rest of the crews kind of gave some of it back, but still came home up. So,
Hey, that's what counts right there.
go Pack go! Welcome to the show. Um, yeah, I mean, I with the wife is definitely going to be changing a new job, changing jobs. So we actually had to cancel our Rome trip because of that. So
oh, that sucks.
yeah, because there's no way she could get 3 weeks off that soon on a new job and stuff. And so we're doing a New Year's Eve cruise, and we might have be able to do the next one depending on how much time she has off by then. We rescheduled for a New Year's Eve cruise. Go Pack Go all day. What positions of priority will the Dolphins have in the draft?
Defensive line, offensive line, secondary, line thumping linebacker.
Cornerback.
Backup quarterback.
Yeah,
There
corner.
you
Yeah.
go, Paul. Damn it. Yo, my God, he was reading my mind.
I mean,
Oh my goodness.
we need a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
Is Tua still our guy at quarterback long term? Depends on who you ask.
What was the question?
Is Tua still our guy at quarterback long term?
Of course he is. We paid him. He ain't going nowhere until after 2028. So yeah,
Well, actually, we do have outs after 2026.
right. But
He
he
gets
ain't go.
injured. He gets injured again. I don't see him staying. They'll find a way out.
They'll buy him out probably because
Yeah.
that's the only way.
Well, I
And you
think
just going you gonna hate that.
if they post June 1st release him in 2026, next year post June 1st release, there's a way out because of stuff like that. But yeah, Tua does need to protect his head as much as possible, but he needs to protect his body too. Because this last one wasn't concussion; it was his thigh
No, hip contusion.
hip contusion. Yeah. So, in my eyes, no, he's not long term. I don't. I think we'll be looking for a new quarterback within the next year or two.
Need to look for one right now
For a backup, yeah.
because Zach Wilson ain't it. Sorry, not sorry. That ain't it. I don't care what anybody says. Good arm, yeah. Everything else, we'll see. Especially in this
I'm not. I'm
system.
not. I'm not sold on him, but I'm not. Uh, I'm
Not
not. Yeah,
bastard.
but yeah. I mean, number one, he played for the Jets, and they ruin every quarterback they get. So maybe he goes to a different
Mhm.
system and he blossoms, and he turns out to be a good player. And God forbid we need him this coming season. If he can show that he's actually got some skills and understands the game and doesn't turn the ball over, you know, maybe you trade him away and get some picks, or try to keep him salary low and keep him there as a good backup.
Yeah, go Pack, go. There is a Manning in college, but we ain't gonna be that low in the totem pole for the draft. At least I hope not.
Shoot. We need to sit there and wait for Peyton. We need to wait for Peyton Manning's son, one of his younger sons. He got a cannon. He probably in high school or grade school right now. We should get him probably in 2030 something. Because right now, I'll be honest with you, gentlemen. Like I said, we got to just wait and see, like Johnny O says. But it just doesn't. The feel for me and a lot of Dolphin fans is what are we really trying? What are we really going to expect? We want to be in the playoffs. We want to be a contender. We're not a top 10 team in our division or in our conference at all. We're not. Stats could say that we are, but when it counts, we can't get it done, and that's the part. So I don't know what to expect. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here. I'm not, and I really don't know what to expect from this team this upcoming season. I just don't. I know what I want. I know what we all want. But guess what? We're far from that. We're
Yeah,
nowhere near that at all.
yeah,
Well,
no, we're
looking at the roster, I mean, I don't think you're being a Debbie Downer because I look at the roster right now and look at the teams that we do have to play, and I'm still saying 5 or 6 wins.
that's.
I said 7-10. I said 7-10.
I agree with Johnny. Right now, I'm looking at 5 or 6 winnings, and that's if we're lucky.
Yeah. If we're lucky.
I mean, we got too many holes. We sign all these guys to 1-year deals who are coming off injuries. If they perform, great. If they don't, then what?
That's a double-edged sword as in its own right, because if they perform, you just audition for another team to go somewhere else to get paid.
And
Yeah.
that's the one thing I love and hate about the 1-year contracts. Because the 1-year contracts, these guys are going to go out and play the best ball they can play, and they know they're auditioning for a new contract, whether it be with us or for some other team. And with our cap space, it's more than likely for another team.
Mhm.
Yep. We signed, Tua, Hill, Waddle, tied up all the money there, and hoping that we could win now, and it didn't work with Tua being out, and you kind of set yourself up for a win now, but it didn't happen, and now it's okay. Try to win some games, but you ain't got no money left.
Go, Pack, go. Buffalo and New England got better. The Jets will be bad even with Justin Fields at quarterback.
Shit. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sleeping on that. I'm not sleeping on
No,
Justin Fields
I'm
at
not
all.
either. I'm laughing at it. Honestly, it would not surprise me if we were 4th in the AFC East this coming year.
Yep. Yep. Because I'm sorry to tell you this. They just got a defensive coordinator as a head coach, and 9 times out of 10, who's going to run that defense? The head coach. So, if they bring in a great offensive coordinator and great offensive team to work with Justin Fields, and they do have weapons on offense, trust and believe, we will be the laughing stock of the AFC East.
And it's sad to say as Dolphins fans, but we're looking at reality.
Yeah, I mean, unless they get some kind of superstar studs in the draft or something after June 1st, I mean, the roster's just not that good to be able to go out there and make the playoffs.
Well, like our brother
We don't
Russell,
have the.
I was going to say,
Go ahead, Paul.
like our brother Russell said, we have to have 4 starters on our first 4 picks. That's the only way it's going to help us out. And I mean, we need offensive guard, we need defensive tackle, we need a cornerback, and another offensive guard, really.
Hmm. We need depth as well, and that's what we're lacking as well on this team.
Yeah.
And the way the injuries have gone the last few years, we see even when we have depth, then the second string guy comes in and he gets hurt. So,
or the third string guy, because we were on our string quarterback at one time last year.
Yeah, and then you started 13 different combination of offensive line in 17 games.
So I mean, it gets sad. It's Go Pack Go made a video predicting the AFC East. Well, I'd like to see that video one time, or at least hear your thoughts on what you think the AFC East is going to finish. Because if you have us,
Bring him up. Put the link out there. Put the link out there. He can come on up.
The
He can
link's
come
up,
on. He can come on and play it right now.
Yeah, play it right now, my man.
up there. If you want to join us, the link is out there. I'll repost it.
We allow fans from other teams to come on.
That's what we love. We've had there. That's one thing that we do cherish. We do love having fans from other teams to come up and talk about their team and talk about us. We like outside. We like outside people coming in and letting us know.
We have a regular Eagles fan that joins us, Dolphin Winner's brother Eric. Right now it's that time. Let's go ahead and play a quick commercial break. I haven't played a commercial break the last few times.
What's up, y'all? This is Chef Jew. Looking for a great chef for your next catering party, private party, office party, etc. with welcome watering meals and desserts? Let Chef Jew Catering and Sweet Treats take care of it for you at an affordable price. Call me at 786-804-8096. Also, reach me at chefjewcatering@gmail.com. Direct message on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Juice Catering. Chef Juice Catering and Sweet Treats. Food with a passion. We do it all.
Chef Jew Catering, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach area. Get your sweet treats and good eats. Go Pack Go. You know, you're welcome more than any other time. I understand you got things you got to get done today. But anytime we're on, you want to join us, the link is usually always up there in the beginning. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Yeah, to speak of the devil and look who rises. Russell Hopman.
Russell, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Good morning, gents. How are you guys?
We're all
Good
here.
morning, brother. How are you?
Well, it's the last day of Ramadan, so I'm feeling better.
Yeah, I know you are. Definitely.
That whole 30 days without food and beverage during the daylight hours isn't fun, but it is what it is, especially when I live with a woman that bakes and cooks all the time.
Yeah,
Johnny, how was your trip?
Yo, you ain't never lied about that, bro. She does it well.
Good. It was a good trip, good cruise, nice and relaxing. You know, good to get away from work. No cleaning, no cooking, just relax.
Nice. Good to hear. Glad you're back, brother.
Will Tyreek Hill bounce back this season? Well,
he had surgery,
We
fixed his wrist, so
really
hopefully.
don't. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I want our team to bounce back. Fuck one player. Fuck two players. I want our team to bounce back. That's what I want.
Hey, we've talked about this before, guys. When guys are priorities everywhere else, we ain't going anywhere. Like I said, we're Miami Dolphin fans. It ain't about the name on the back of the jersey. It's about the helmet and the whole process. If we're worried about, well, this one has to do this or this one has to do that, we ain't going anywhere. That's why New England was successful all those years, because they never put one guy ahead of everybody. We knew who the head of the snake was, but everybody worked as a unit. That's why they were good. And if you look over those years, they always plugged and played certain type guys. We don't have that strong mentality like that. So we're seeing what the draft brings us, and then we'll make our assumptions after that. I'm not going to argue with people and get into what coulda, shouldas, you know?
Good morning, Casa Nostra and Kenshan. Fins up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, go Pat, go. We all wanted the Dolphins to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the year that we were signing guys off the street to play. We signed Ingram, Bruce Irvin. Yeah, that wasn't going to work. And then we should have never been in that predicament any old way. If we would have just beat Tennessee, we would have had a home playoff game. But I can't cry over spilt milk.
Yep. We did it to ourselves. Had a division, 3-game lead in division, lost that.
Then you had to go and play at Ice Station 0 against the Chiefs, coldest game ever. Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, I mean, listen, it's not like the Chiefs played outstanding. They just played better, and we had the one major turnover. So,
yeah, they should have put the title on that newspaper the next day: "Frozen Fish."
Oh,
shit!
bad, but you're good.
Yeah, you know, my whole thing is this: if we hit on 3 of our first 4 picks, meaning I'm not saying Pro Bowlers, but decent starting caliber guys that gonna contribute, we'll be okay. Because I mean, depending on obviously the 3 guys we get, we definitely need O-line, we definitely need secondary help, and possibly, D tackle. We'll see. But if we come out with with this mentality of we want more speed, more speed, more speed, it'll be the same old story. We'll be in November talking about, we should have done this, we should have done that. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, I'm holding my hopes up, but hey, I've seen Santa. It was my dad, so that didn't work either.
yeah, well, hold your hopes up. Just don't hold your breath.
Oh, I don't hold my breath. This ain't a pool.
Yeah,
Nope. I done seen this movie before.
I don't want to see the blue boy in the corner.
Yeah.
No. We've all seen this because we're old enough to know, that obviously we hope all our predictions are totally wrong and we're a playoff team and we're, contending. That's what we want. But of course, reality sets in. And like I said, I don't care about T-shirts and shorts. I don't care about the combines. I don't care how fast you can run. I want to know that if you're a dog and you're going to knock people off the ball and you're going to contribute on our line, and if our line is successful, I mean, I'm not talking about a superstar. If our line is successful, where Tua can hand off the ball and he doesn't have to throw 35 to 38 times a game, we're going to be right there because our defense will only get better. I mean, Weaver did a good job with what he had, and if we could add some talent, we'll be fine. The key is we got to have balance. Everybody and their mother knows what we're going to do. So we got to run the ball. We got to have the dog that says, listen, I'm going to knock you off the ball. And then Tua will be doubly tough because he doesn't have that hero mentality of, well, it's 3rd and 11. I got to hit somebody for 15, 17 yards and I got to hold the ball. And if they're not open, maybe I'll try to run when I know I can't. So it's all on that.
Okay, here's a question from Costa.
You know what's crazy? Go ahead.
How serious should Miami in drafting a quarterback such as Kyle McCord?
Man, if they take a quarterback, it's going to be the late rounds. I mean, it's not going to be.
Yeah, it should be 5th, 6th, or 7th round quarterback.
And I have no trouble. I have no trouble taking one there because he's the 3rd string because you have 2 in front of him. It gives you time to develop him, work with him, see if he's actually got any potential, and you're not going to be paying him a lot.
Yeah.
McCord is pretty good from Syracuse. He's not bad. You'll have a chance to get him possibly 4th or 5th round or 6th. You'll have Quinn Ewers from Texas. He's not too bad either. Good development guys. And then maybe you never know. You might be able to get The kid from Missouri, Cook, he's pretty good too, but not early in the first 4 picks. No quarterback, maybe fifth, sixth, depending. I mean, considering we got 2 7ths, so. But we have to address what we really needed to address, and that's offensive line, defensive line, and either a corner or safety, depending what we do at
Mhm.
13.
Somebody that can actually maybe in the draft that can play both positions. Somebody that can actually do corner or safety. That would sit there and be beneficial because you could sit there and have them either at one position or the other position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you got players in college that do play both positions.
Mm-hmm. Know what's bothering me right now, guys? It's still driving me crazy. Why haven't we re-signed Nick Needham?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Think about
No,
that for a minute.
Nick's a free agent right now.
Yep, and we haven't signed him back. What's the problem there? A guy
I
who
didn't
plays
know that Nick
corner,
was a free agent.
safety, and nickel. This is what I'm saying about the incompetence of the Dolphins. You're going to go outside of your organization to get possibly a corner, which they did with Artie Burns, but you're not going to bring back the guy who's been with you for 4 years in your system, who is talented and who came off an Achilles injury and played sparingly because they didn't play him. But he's in great condition. Why wouldn't you re-sign him?
No, Nick will end up going somewhere else and balling out and proving the organization once again can't keep their homegrown talent and they just let them walk.
There it is. Classic example. All the positions of need we need, there's the guy that you need that could fill one of them. Really? It never ends with their front office. It doesn't. Never ends.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, brother. I'm not surprised at all, gentlemen. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. Are you really surprised? We just talked about this the other day, Russell, on the show. We
Yep.
talked about Christian Wilkins. We sat there and literally talked about how we drafted him. We drafted him. We brought him in our system. We built him up. He was very professional about. He was one of the most professional people about his contract. And yes, that's what you want from a player. That's all you want from a player, not somebody that's coming talking about not a Facebook post or an Instagram post or a Twitter post talking about it's not about the money. Bitch, we know it's about the money, Xavier Howard. You know, listen, he handled it very professionally, and guess what? It still didn't get done. And he's in the Raiders, and unfortunately, he sustained an injury last season, and hopefully, he comes back better for the Raiders next season. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not trying to get it, but this is a revolving ass door, and it's like you said, it's that we've seen this movie before. We've seen this movie before. You know, it gets to a point, it gets aggravating, and it's past aggravating to a lot of us.
Well, Sarah here just thanked us
Thanks for
for.
Van Gankles. You must.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying.
Oh, trust me, I got every time I wear my not to cut you off, Russell. Every time I wear my Dolphins gear and walk in Philadelphia, all I hear is "Thank you for Fangio," and I hear that shit all the fucking time. So I'm used to it now. If I got paid $1 for every time I heard it, I would be rich as shit right now.
Yeah, the sad part is, like we've talked about this before, and I'm not talking so much about, well, Christian Wilkins was a first rounder. Everybody makes me laugh when they say, "Oh, I'm professional." He was, but they all want the bag. Robert Hunt left, got the bag. Wilkins left, got the bag. You didn't even want to pay Van Ginkel, and he took low money to go to the Vikings. Now they gave him bigger money. So, I mean, the Dolphins, your homegrown drafts, whether they were 5th round, 3rd round, 2nd round, whoever, you let them walk out the door and then cry and complain that, well, we got to fill these spots. Well, those spots were already filled with guys that you should have kept. And I'm not saying you can keep everybody. Obviously, you can't keep everybody. But for me to see a Van Ginkel, who is a talented guy who wanted to stay in Miami, wasn't asking for outrageous money. You could have gave him a 2-year deal. Same thing with Nick Needham. He's walking around. It's going to be sad when you see him wearing either a Buffalo Bills jersey or a Patriots jersey, because it's going to happen just because that's our luck. I mean, we watched stupid trades in our
Yep.
division. We watched the Dolphins trade Wes Welker to the Patriots. Now you're talking about free agents, guys
Mhm.
walking around. Eventually, he's going to sign with somebody, and it's going to come and be a thorn in our side. I can see it already.
Yeah, and I mean Nick Needham
Mhm.
obviously has some talent. Otherwise, they wouldn't have kept him around this long. They wouldn't have let him, rehab and come back and play this year, even though they didn't use him, which drove me nuts. You're putting Storm Duck out there over Nick Needham. You're putting, Nick's been around. He knows the team. He knows the guys, and for whatever reason, just never gets a chance.
Yeah, and we're talking about a team guy. We're not talking about a guy who give me out in the papers, quiet guy, sturdy guy. Because before his injury, which he tore his Achilles, he was playing well. He was playing well,
Very well.
and I just think that
He was flying around the ball.
Yep, I think our mentality is really off the meters when it comes to keeping our own guys. And I think Greer reminds me of the guy that you go to the poker table, he keeps playing I'm all in, and he loses.
Yep.
He never says, wait a minute, let me bet a couple of chips. No, I'm all in because he had one good hit, one good signing. So that means I know what I'm doing. He really doesn't. He really doesn't. And then you got the fan base talking about, oh, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Just look over his past drafts. Yeah, he's got a couple of ones. I mean, everybody is a diamond, but man, we've got a lot of. Hey, it reminds me of Charlie Brown. What'd you get? Oh, I got a peppermint patty. I got a bubble gum. What'd you get? I got a rock.
Go Pack, go all day. I don't see that happening.
That's
At
never
all.
happened.
I don't.
No
That's
way.
not happening because Aaron Rodgers is going to want to go somewhere and he's going to want to start. Like he's not going to be a
And he's going to
backup.
want
He's
to
not
get
trying to
paid.
go anywhere and be a backup. Yep.
Aaron Rodgers
And we
is
ain't
going to
got no
either.
money in Miami.
Nope, he's either going to end up in Pittsburgh or he's going to have to sit out because the Vikings want to keep that kid McCarthy. They're not going to bring in him to mess the kid up because you just drafted him the year before
Which is
as a number
smart.
one first round pick. Pittsburgh has no quarterback, so they're waiting.
That's smart.
Well, won't say they don't, but Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson, they're just dragging their feet because they want to know by draft time. Rodgers is in his doc retreat and he's in Egypt and wherever the hell he's at. So the Steelers are
Freaking
going to wait.
Ashwagandha and all that shit.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain teams you just like, really. But, for all the stuff that we're saying about our team and this team and that team, Pittsburgh's in the playoffs every damn year.
Yes, they
I mean,
are.
and that's the sad thing. We're not.
They have a coach. They have a coach that's going every year They're going every year 500 or better. He has not had a losing season since he's coached in the NFL. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
but if you listen to their fan base, half of their fan base ain't happy with him. They want him gone. Can't understand why he's still around. They haven't won a playoff game in years, so they want him out.
Yep. The funny thing is
I'll
when
be honest
Tomlin,
with you, Johnny. Go ahead, Russell.
the funny thing is when Tomlin won the Super Bowl against Arizona, oh, they were loving life. They weren't saying nothing then, but eventually he wear out your welcome. It's similar to like baseball. You can have a guy calling out we're going to run this, we're going to do that. This is who's starting today. Eventually your voice gets boring. People, they don't pay attention no more. That's where they wear out the welcomes. I can't see how if we were in that position, we're going to playoffs every year. So I'm loving life. I mean, eventually it's going to turn around. You did win a Super Bowl under the guy.
Sarah, that's a good question, Sarah. Sarah asks, is Tua going to save the Dolphins or do you guys need to draft a new QB?
Well, I mean, Tua doesn't play defensive line. He doesn't play defensive back. He doesn't play safety. He doesn't play offensive guard. So, one guy can't save the team.
If our fan base is counting on Tua alone to save us, and that's a slippery slope. We had Dan Marino and he couldn't save us.
Right.
So does it matter?
Absolutely.
I mean, the quarterback's key, definitely. But I mean, like Johnny said, he ain't playing corner. He ain't playing safety. He ain't pass rushing. And the key thing, he can't protect himself from a defensive tackle coming up the middle or a safety blitzing. He has to play within our system, but he needs help within our system. Good question, Sarah. I say the Dolphins will draft somebody, 5th or 6th round. But the key is if we balance our picks and get what we actually need. And we all have eyes. We need an offensive guard. We need a guy, or if you're going to get a tackle who can play guard, and we need to plug that hole. Because if we can run the ball, we'll take all that pressure off the guy. And then we won't hear all the foolish stuff about Tua's on a boat, Tua's doing this way. The guy can't live his life in the offseason.
Listen, no franchise fan base is happy until they win a Super Bowl. Go back and watch the video of Buffalo drafting Josh Allen. Their fan base was not happy. Has he won a Super Bowl? No, but at least he's brought him into the playoffs damn near every year or every year. So, I mean,
and he ain't going nowhere because they just gave him buku money.
Yeah, but they go back and watch the video when they drafted him. The fan base was not happy. They did not want Josh Allen. Kansas City, when they drafted Mahomes, half their fan base was like, who the hell is this guy and why did we take him? Now they all love him. He's won 3 Super Bowls. How can you not? Until you get in the playoffs and start winning playoff games and win Super Bowls, your fan base is always going to, and even when you do win, I mean, Aaron Rodgers' last couple of years in Green Bay, people wanted him out. He's not winning. We start off 0-3 and he tells us don't worry about it. Then we make the playoffs but don't do anything. And, fan bases are tricky. And these guys got to play a game. Yeah. What were you saying, Winter?
I got one better for you. How about all season, if I go to a Phillies game, I'm going to hear Eagle chants. They were chanting at the fucking Nationals game yesterday, Eagles. So,
right.
I think about that for a second. You know what I mean? So, bring that in perspective. When you have a team that's won a Super Bowl, not just one, but now 2, and they're probably going to go for 3 next season. Shit. But I would love to have that feel in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, the funny thing is about fan bases, like John said, it's tricky. I mean, here in Massachusetts, they won damn 6 in like 10 years, 6 in 12 years, say. And these people here, they act like they're going to win the Super Bowl every year because they got that feeling now and they got spoiled. God forbid Miami win 1 in the next 5, say, years. Oh man, South Beach. Oh Lord, dude. South Beach would be out of control. It'd be like Mardi Gras. It'd be like Carnival in Brazil. It'd be like everything you can think of for that week. And people gonna be wearing shirts and hats and talking mad baloney. So I mean, hope springs eternal. It's like baseball. Every year, everybody's like, "Oh, my team's going to the World Series after spring training." Really? I don't get excited about baseball. Call me in August. I could start 0-10. I don't care. Call me in August. They play 162 games. I can't get excited over 162 games. But football different. We only got 17. You start 0-6, you in trouble. Everybody's going out the door.
Yeah, you guys are leaving. They want trades. You're trying to trade because your team sucks and you got to rebuild for the next year. And yeah.
Real quick, I just want to answer Sarah's question on how we feel about Tua. I know Johnny O and I felt the same. We really didn't want him to sign a contract when he signed that big contract. We wanted him to play another year and see how things went. But they signed him a new contract and a big contract, and we were not necessarily thrilled with it because it's a long-term contract. And I mean, we do have an out after Russell, a little bit more. Isn't like next year we
have an out after the next year, Paul. So he's actually really under contract for 2 years.
So next year we do a post June 1st cut, right?
Yep, it's 2 years. This year and the following year.
Okay.
And the thing about that, Paul, I liked Tua. I thought it was a little hasty because he only had that 1 good year to sign him to 5 years. But they also did it because all these contracts were exploding. And who's to say if he would have had another great year, they would have said, now we got to pay the guy $68 million a year. I mean, right now his contract's like 5 out of quarterbacks maybe now. So, I mean, it is what it is. I like Tua,
it was
providing he's healthy.
It was one of those
Hey, think about this like this.
you don't.
Yeah, I wanted to make him play his 5th-year option, but
Think about it like this, gentlemen. No, we could have been under the situation where, and like you said, 68 million. We could have been the Cowboys paying them 60 million a year, like they're paying Dak Prescott.
yeah, but the Cowboys are dumb as doornails for doing that. Dak Prescott is not worth $60 million a year. He's never won a damn thing.
Well, that's true, but like I said, they gave two of the deal only because the contract market was exploding. You know, the smartest quarterback in the league is Kirk Cousins. He kept playing on the franchise tag, and he kept getting whatever the top of the franchise tag pay was for quarterbacks. I thought the Dolphins, when Tua had that great year, like you said, Johnny, they should have let him play on the 5th-year option. And then if worst come to worst, you didn't sign him, you franchise him 1 year.
Right.
Shit, Kirk Cousins got all full guaranteed contracts all through his career.
Yep. And right now he's asked to leave the Falcons, but they just gave him a $10 million because you're on the roster bonus. And they still going to pay him that money. So don't be surprised he gets traded by the draft. I got a funny feeling Kirk Cousins, he's going to end up in Cleveland.
Hey, at this point, I don't think Kirk cares. He's made more money than Tom Brady did in his career, and he's never won a damn thing.
If I'm correct, he's made over $500 million. Damn near close.
Yep,
That's
he's made
where
close.
he's supposed to make.
He's made close to $300 million just through franchising and no, because when he got drafted, he was backing up Robert Griffin III in Washington, and then he got moved, and then he got franchised, and then he was going to get moved, and then he got franchised again. So he was making money just being off the 1-year deals.
Sorry to say, but it's basically that time.
It's always a pleasure, guys. Russell, thanks for coming up. Johnny O, thank you, and have a safe trip getting back home, brother, without a doubt.
Well, that's up to the pilot, brother.
I hear you. Tell everybody I said hello, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Saul, Johnny, and Papa Paul, appreciate you guys. I'm glad that I got to pop in, drop a little science. It's always a pleasure seeing you guys and hearing from you guys. And Johnny, safe travels, brother.
Hey, it's always good to see you guys. Sorry I missed the last 2 shows, but I was having fun on the cruise.
That's right. That's all that matters. You were having fun.
Yep.
I ain't mad at you because Papa Paul held it down because Papa Paul had it going. He had the Green Bay fan on. We had Sharif on. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Saul.
Have a good day. Enjoy the weekend. Peace, love, and fins up, everybody.
Peace, love, and fins up, all.
Peace, love, fins up, everybody.
Peace, love, and fins up, baby.
Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network on Roku and Fire Stick. This is the first place to find all the latest NFL news, trades, and rumors. If you have a Roku or Fire Stick, access your menu and locate the search bar to perform a channel search. Then simply type in Huddle Sports Network. After completing the search, this logo should appear. Then add to your menu and you're good to go. We cover all your football needs from breaking news to trades and rumors. So join us and enjoy the sport we learn to love so much. So be sure to add Huddle Sports Network to your Roku or Fire Stick menu and keep informed of all your football news and needs. You can also find us on Facebook and of course YouTube. Thanks for supporting our journey and our passion for football.